What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. Today, our show topic is holiday as a gift or a curse. So, how much are you enjoying the holidays? Are they with friends, family, or alone? What if you didn't have to suffer? What if suffering is not what you think? And what if you can actually enjoy the holidays? This show is going to be a little bit of survivor guide to the holidays, I would say. Magic is everywhere, abundance is everywhere. And let's tap into some of that magic for ourselves, for our loved ones. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Hanukkah that just passed. So, whatever holidays you're celebrating, just allow yourself to enjoy it. I know for me, it was an enjoyment, but there was also a little bit of anxiety. If it was at my house, there was a lot of anxiety. Cooking, making sure that people like the food, make sure that there is enough food. And also, it was a lot about that kind of like being a hostess, making sure everybody is comfortable, everybody having fun. And I found out later as the years go by, it's not my job to make sure that everybody is happy at the celebration because it's people's choices. Everybody has a choice. And you say, you cannot choose to be happy. Yes, you can. Really, happiness is just a choice. Surprisingly enough, that was a topic of one of the classes in Access Consciousness. And it was either the smallest or second to smallest class in history of access for Dr. Dane Hare and Gary Douglas, founders of Access. I think the other smallest class was pragmatic psychology, which was also kind of like getting out of unhappy, getting out of your insanity. I guess people are like their insanity, and around the holidays, it the insanity actually shows itself in such a weird way. And I'm not talking about the mental illness, though it might be a mental illness as well, because a lot of people during holidays, surprisingly enough, get depressed. And I would like to talk about one of the tools of access. Who does it belong to? Because a lot of that unhappiness and that, what you call it, depression is people around us, not necessarily ours. So let's do it now. Whatever you're experiencing right now, happiness, unhappiness, if you're happy, please enjoy it. But let's just ask, who does this belong to? And again, who does this belong to? And who does this belong to? And this, who does this belong to? And let's return to sender whatever is not ours. Cool. Love that. I feel much lighter because I started the show also a little bit kind of like on the heavy side because Chicago, I live in Chicago area. It's in Buffalo Grove, but it's one of the suburbs of Chicago. And how many people depressed in Chicago, especially now with COVID? COVID is a virus if you're listening to it years from now. And hopefully, we still have the civilization years from now. Destroy and uncreate that. Um, so, with everything that's going on during holidays, let's talk about if you're hosting a party. What do you do? Okay, I'll talk about me. When I was hosting a party, it was always about not enough. I would buy so much. If I have 10 people, it would be enough for 20 people. Cooking, same thing. If it was 20 people coming in, it would be 40 people that I would cook for. Where does it come from? I was asking the same question, and with Access Consciousness, I found out that it all stems from either previous lifetimes or ancestors. I learned it from other people. And especially with my mom and like my parents and my especially grandparents, they grew up during World War II, during famine, during a lot of stuff where there was not enough. So in their mind, they have to cook and buy everything for the future, not necessarily even for now, because there was not enough. So, how much are you buying that not enough in your life, especially during the holidays? And afraid that, oh my God, people will go hungry. How much of that is not yours and from other lifetimes? You're willing to destroy and uncreate all of that too? And access consciousness, if you've never been to any of the classes or never heard the clearing statement is a vibrational frequency that helps us to clear any limitations, anything that's stuck. And it is magical. It's like a magic wand. You wave it and it's gone. Poof. So, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And you can learn more about that on the website theclearingstatement.com. There is a lot of information, but for this show, let's just pretend you know all of this and I'm just going to use it. Okay? And you can just use POC and POT. Point of, and by the way, um, clearing statement is just a short speak for a lot of energies. Right and wrong, good and bad is everything we made. Right, wrong, right, wrong, good, bad, correct, whatever it is. So getting out of polarity and judgment. POC is point of creation, POD is point of destruction. Basically, going back in time when it was created, all nine layers of stuff, and so on and so forth. So it's like abracadabra, but abracadabra is also has a meaning. It's translation from Hebrew, I create as I speak. So same thing with clearing statement. When we say it, it just clears stuff. Don't have to know how. I actually have no clue how, but it does. That's all we have to know, that it does. So let's play with that today, especially around the holidays. So everywhere where you've decided that it's not enough, or you're cooking not enough, or buying not enough, will you destroy and uncreate that? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pack and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because as a hostess, it's that stress that actually made me tired, not the actual celebration. So, how much of that is going on in your life? You're thinking and projecting of how the holidays will be. And yes, you know a lot of things. And your past, people argued, people were fighting at the table, or they were angry. Some of the, like especially around the politics nowadays, families been divided about politics, about vaccines, about virus about what to do, what not to do. And all those arguments, a lot of times in a lot of family. I'm not saying everybody. If you're one of those perfect families where you just enjoy holidays spending together, this show is not for you. This is for people that actually have the issues during the holidays, stress out and getting depressed. And especially nowadays, with a lot of people, the celebration is wonderful where you're stressed out about celebration. But what about people who are in total isolation, like on quarantine or in countries where it's not allowed to get together? So all of that, all those projection and expectations of how the holidays will be, a lot of times worse than the holidays themselves. So is it a gift or is it a curse, those holidays? And how can we change it to be a gift? How can we change to be happy around the holidays? And as I said, number one tools during the holidays, who does this belong to? What if it's just not yours? What if it's about letting go of all those ideas and judgment that you picked up from your friends, family, from the newspapers before, or the media, or internet, Facebook, Instagram, all of those things? Or you picked it up and your holidays don't look like the ideal holidays like the media is supposed to project. What if you let go of all of that? Would you? Just for a second, just for this holiday, for this Christmas, for this New Year, because Hanukkah is already past, so cannot talk about that. But for Christmas and New Year, would you be willing to let go of your expectation of how it will show up and just be there as you? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pack and pat, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And that's pretty much how you use that. Or you can say just pack and pat all my projection and expectations. So let's look at you. What do you do during holidays to make it a gift or a curse? And a lot of times it's that separation or that isolation or that projection and expectation and judgment that create the things, because our points of view create our reality, according to Gary Douglas. You cannot, because facts are neutral. Whatever is going on is just what's going on. How we look at that what dictates our attitude, our points of view, and that's what creates if it makes us happy or unhappy. Because the same point of view, some people decide it's good, some people decide it's bad. And it's time for our first break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we'll continue talking about more of holidays as a gift or a curse, and we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is holiday as a gift or a curse. And before we went on the break, we were talking about how we have projection and expectation of how holidays would be, would not be, and they never, never, ever just like we expect them to be. They either better or worse. And the more we stress out about it, the less fun we have because we already have points of view of how it's supposed to be. It might be from our experience from past events. Let's say you don't get along with certain members of your family or with certain friends, and you know they're going to be there at the holidays. And you already have an expectation of how they will judge you, how they will talk to you, how you will talk to them, and how it will escalate. So, what if it's not? What if you give up your points of view by doing that? What if you change the future? What I found out with using access tools, a lot of times, if I give up points of view about somebody, that person stops behaving in a certain way. Because when we have an expectation of somebody, or they have expectation of us, we start behaving. Let's say somebody has expectation of me that I'm supposed to be nice. I pick it up and I have a choice. And a lot of times I could resist and react and act as a bitch, or align and agree, yes, I'm a nice person, but I might be nice where I actually have to say no, or I have to do something that that person will consider not nice. A lot of times I would afraid to say no. I would afraid to say something that upsets them just to be nice. And what if, and that's not being you. That's not being who I am. This is more about acting in the way they expect me to act. So in that situation, I start contracting and showing only parts of me that those people think, or I think that those people judge to be appropriate. It's so convoluted, it's so twisted that a lot of times we are not even aware of that. We act out of habit. Let's say somebody judged us or somebody said nasty things to us in the past. And it's been a pattern. Let's say it's been a pattern since you were a little kid. So you see them and you expect them to act in the same way. They don't have a choice but to behave in that way. So what if you drop those judgment and drop those expectations and suddenly see who is in front of you? Because nobody can be mean all the time. Nobody can be nice all the time. We all are kind of like part of the human race where we act according to our moods, according to other people's expectations according to other people's judgments and according to our judgments of how we're supposed to react. All of that is based on reaction, not actual action. If you drop your judgments of somebody, a lot of times that person stops behaving in that way. And I'm not saying it's your fault that they behave that way, because a lot of people start judging themselves. I love when people judge themselves. It's like, oh, it's my fault that they are abusing me. No, because if they're abusing you, they're just assholes, or a bitch, or whatever names you can call them. But if you're expecting them to behave in that way, they will. And it's not your fault. And it might have nothing to do with your expectation. They might be just mean. But you not having expectation, you not choosing what it is, allowing you to create more in your life. That one part of the equation. The other part is your reactions. Because all the judgments, all the projection, all the expectations, they're just that. They're inventions and lies. And instead of reacting to them, what if you just looked at them and say thank you? Because in their mind, they are doing something good. I know with my grandmother, she used to judge me constantly and criticize me constantly. I loved her dearly, and she passed away a long time ago, but her idea was, that's how she was brought up, was to criticize me to the point where I became better. It was out of love. It was kind of abusive, but it was out of love. Now, with the tools I have, I look at that, okay, so what if I didn't react to that? What if I didn't buy those judgments? And because there is two reactions to every judgment, either aligning and agreeing with the judgment or resisting and reacting to it. So, and so many of us grew up that way. I know a lot of my friends grew up this way. And it's unfortunate, but I love the kids in access, that growing up with parents who are more conscious with that. And yet you can learn that now to let go of that. So what if you look at all those judgments and didn't buy them? Not the old ones, not the new ones. What if you just look at them and it's like, does it actually apply to me? 99.99.99%, no, it will not apply to you. And a lot of times people accuse us of what they are actually doing. So they project that on us and we buy it and we act this way. It's such a mess, especially during the holidays. So my invitation, well, rest of your life, you can choose that too. But today, starting today, what if you chose not to react to the judgments, not to react to anything anybody says, and just be you? You can say what's true for you. That does not exclude it. But you don't have to prove anything. Because one of the greatest tools, other than who does this belong to, is interesting point of view. It's not alignment and agreeing. It's not resistance and reaction. It's just being in allowance. Interesting point of view. They have this interesting point of view. How cool is that? I'm just wondering, what if you just, when somebody judges you, like, and I know there are a lot of rattlesnakes and there are a lot of like evil people. Like seriously, there are a lot of evil people. Let's face it. Not everybody is kind, not everybody is nice. And the sooner you realize that, the easier your life will be. Because you always think of the best in people. But what if that best cannot show up itself unless you acknowledge that there are evil people? And if you acknowledge it, maybe some of those evil people can change. I wonder. And it's their choice, just like your choice not to react to them. Somebody judging how you look, cool. And in your mind, you can say, interesting point of view. They have this interesting point of view. Do I have to buy it? No, you don't have to buy any judgment. Just allow yourself to be kind to you. That's the first thing during holidays, to make it into a gift, not a curse. When you're kind to you, when you love you, when you at least, okay, maybe not love. Love is a strong word. I know there is such a difficulty to love yourself. Let's say you just like yourself. Let's start with that. What if you start liking yourself and be kind to you? Be kind to your body during holidays. A lot of times during the holidays, I used to overeat because there is a lot of food. Especially when I was cooking, there was a lot of food. Russian hospitality, if you never experienced that, or especially Russian Jewish hospitality, um, you have to experience. Just visit somebody who is a Russian Jew and you'll see the table is filled. There is no place to put anything on the table anymore. And sometimes they manage to bring some more food, just serving it. So I would overeat. Was it a kindness to my body? No. Was it a kindness to me? No. Did I like myself? No. What I did, I was judging myself so much about that it wasn't even funny. Especially waking up in the morning and I was like, oh, or drinking too much. Doesn't matter what you overdid during the holidays. And instead, what if you be conscious what you're putting in your mouth? Alcohol. And I'm not saying not to drink. I'm just like saying at a certain point, the body says, it's enough. I'm done. But what do? Oh, no, no, no. I like more. Mwah, mwah. Or eating and eating and eating. So what if you don't? What if you ask body, are we done? Cool. And then you can just allow yourself to enjoy the holidays without being overfilled or drunk. And it's time for our second break of the show. Yeah, I was like trying to think, is it first, second, or third? But it's the second. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. When we return, we'll continue talking more about holidays as a gift or a curse, and we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time. This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is holiday as a gift or a curse. And before we went on the break, we were talking about being kind to yourself. And there is also another thing. In order to be kind, you don't have to take yourself serious. And you don't have to take the holidays serious. Sense of humor is one of the things that allowed me to survive pretty much anything in my life. What if you laugh at yourself? What if you allow yourself to laugh at yourself? What if you allow yourself to laugh at other people's judgments? What if you didn't have to be serious about anything? How often do we look at the holidays and become depressed because we made it so significant, so serious? What if it's just another day in our lives? A day that we can enjoy, a day that we can laugh more, or choose every day to be a holiday? How much our life would be different if we chose every day as a holiday and choose it as a gift instead of a curse? Um, I was looking at something today. Let's say our birthdays kind of like signifies our aging process. So is holidays. Every year is kind of like getting older. But what if we don't look at that this way? What if we look at each holiday as just a day to play? And that's kind of like almost like a mic drop. What if holiday was time to play, to have fun, to enjoy ourselves, our bodies, instead of looking at it as holiday? We have to celebrate. We don't have to celebrate. That have to actually takes away a lot of things. It takes away the enjoyment out of things. Because as soon as that's a necessity, as soon as it have to, must to, what do we do? I don't know about you, but I resist and react to anything that I have to. So what if that necessity to celebrate the holidays, the specific day, what if you reframe it completely? What if you actually look at that instead of have to and serious and significant, the holiday, the Christmas, it has to be. And a lot of people go to church and that's fine. I mean, um, sorry if I offended you, but what if going to church or going to relatives, what if it was joy instead of a chore? I just wonder, how would your life be different if you look at everything in your life, including the holidays, as something to have fun, something to enjoy, something to play, and not have to? What if it was part of who we are as a being, as a body. What if holidays is just another like vacation? Because we enjoy vacation, right? So what if holiday is a vacation from ordinary? What if it's to go from ordinary to extraordinary on those days and every day? How much more can we receive if we just be, including on the holidays, and be ourselves, not picking up other people's judgments during the holidays? Again, let's look at that. Who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? And how much you're picking up other people's frustrations and anger and all other emotions that go along with either projections and expectation of what the holidays will be, or what they cannot be, or what they have to be. All of that. Are you willing to let go? Thank you. I hope you said yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, PAC and PAT, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And what if you let go of everything that you thought is impossible on the holidays that you would actually desire? Because how much you like, and I know all of us desire to have fun, desire ease, desire kind of like kindness and love and all of those things during holiday from our friends and relatives. And how many of you decided that you cannot have that? What if you can't? By just choosing it, just choosing to be with that and just allowing yourself to receive that. Just just look at that for a moment. And how much are you contracting even at the thought of the holidays? How many of you kind of like go like this? Oy. And what if you didn't? What if you expand instead of and relaxed into the holiday instead of stressing about it? Let's do it for a second or for a few minutes. Just drop your barriers, all of them, and just ask. And if you have no idea how to drop your barriers, just ask barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, because this is all about just asking. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah, like that. And keep dropping them. And drop the barriers that you created so you don't even see you. Yeah. So keep dropping them even more, all of them. And just allow yourself to be present with that's you. And just ask that essence of you or that being, what does it require right now during that season of holidays, season of celebration, and season of stress? Like stressing about the gifts, what to buy, what not to buy. So, what if you let go of that? Because that's another barrier, by the way. Any stress you create, it's a barrier of separation between us, between everybody. Whew. Wow, like it. I like it. The energy is much lighter. Just allow yourself to expand with that. Just expand that lightness. And if you're still stressed, that's another tool. Because anything that's a lie, if you expand it, will disappear. Oops, I gave out the answer. But anyway, look at your stress, all of it. Doesn't matter what it is. Just imagine it as one of those balloons, like the kids' balloons, helium balloons, doesn't matter. And start expanding it. It disappeared, right? There is no more stress because that was a lie. That thing, that stress, that was a lie you've been telling yourself. Because in reality, you don't have to be stressed. And it's not even yours. And just allow yourself to expand you, not the stress, not the projection and expectation, because those will disappear. You are real. So when you expand, you'll get bigger. Not necessarily physical sense. I'm not talking about gaining weight because the weight is actually your protection against, again, another separation. So the more you try to separate, the more you stress out, the more weight you put on, especially during the holidays. So what if you don't have to? What if you can expand and be like air so you don't have to gain weight? You don't have to be really significant and important because that's also creates weight. What if you can be light as a feather and just expand that even more, 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 more? Go 10 miles, 1,000 miles, trillion miles. And if you're in Europe or any other place other than America and England or Great Britain, use kilometers for the same thing. I think 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. So, and you don't have to calculate, just go 10 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers, and million kilometers. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you measure the distance or time. And by the way, time is not real, it's all the construct. So just keep expanding. And from that space, look at the holidays. Are they as scary as they used to be? Not to me. They're more fun now. It's a little toy that we can play with when we are expanded. And I just got the warning that we have another break coming. So when we return, we'll continue talking about holidays, hopefully as a gift, not as a curse. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is holiday as a gift or a curse. And before we went on a break, we were expanding and looking at the holidays as something to have fun with. And it's about literally to have fun. That's what holidays are about originally. But instead, we are choosing to create it as more have to, must, all of those things. And what's interesting, okay, I do have a little ADD and ADHD, and I just noticed that the weather in Chicago has changed over the last 40 minutes. It went from very gloomy, where I had to use the light, to sunshine. How cool is that? And what if that actually, how you can shift your own mood, your own weather from that depression or anxiety or stress into the sunshine, the joy and happiness? Because it changes instantly if you ask for it. Just ask for it. Seriously. Just allow yourself to choose sunshine in your life every single day and not judging when it's raining. Kind of looking at that, okay, so it's gloomy, so it's raining, so it's snowing, because there is no bad weather. There is just how we look at that. Same thing in our lives. We judge a lot of things, and that's what creates the stress, not the other way around. I remember the story, kind of like talking about how people take the pain versus animals, because animals don't have judgments. And so there was a story about the horse that got hurt and okay, and got tired. So the horse got tired, hurt, it went to the stable and rested. And that was the end of the story. The owner got hurt and he came home and he's like, oh my God, I'm hurt. And the end, it's like, oh, I'm so upset about getting hurt. And then he's like, oh, wait, I'm upset about being upset about hurt. And he's like, I'm upset about being upset about hurt. So that's what we create in our lives. Instead of just letting it go, okay, I got hurt, let it go. Do something about it, put the band aid, whatever it needs to be done, and don't get upset about it. Same with the holidays. What if we don't have to get upset no matter what's going on at the table, no matter what's going on at the absence of the table? Because right now, a lot of people might not have tables. So, what if we don't have that separation? Even with all that social distancing, social isolation, and all of that, are we truly alone, especially during holidays? What if we expand and truly sense every person and choose to have joy? Choose holidays as a gift. Maybe talking to people on the phone, maybe getting on a Zoom with them if you cannot get together. What if you can be a gift? Not just a holiday, but you being a gift. What if you can choose that, like a few words of kindness to somebody, and be that gift to everybody around you? And our show is kind of like coming soon to the end. I think we have a few minutes. I just want to tell you that I'm doing a free webinar coming on December 28th at 11 a.m., pretty much like this show, but it's on Monday, um, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, CST. Also, there is one day of intensity of being on January 23rd, 2021. There's going to be a foundation in January and a body class in the beginning of February. That's already posted on Access webpage. Um, just join me around the world. I used to facilitate around the world, and I will as soon as the social isolation and all that insanity with viruses will be over. So hopefully I'll see you someday in person. And no, it's not the end. We still have about 4 minutes left, which is nice. So let's talk a little bit about what you can do when you get upset or stressed or create more joy. So just kind of like remind you what we talked about in the beginning of the show. Who does this belong to? That tool can save me so many times. It's not even funny. Just keep asking it. There is a free app on Apple Store and Google, and I'm not sure where else, but it's very original name. Who does it belong? Access consciousness, and you can choose to put it on reminder every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, or wherever you just remember. And for the next 3 to 5 to how many days to the new year or after, just ask, who does it belong to for every thought, feeling, and emotion? And if it, and then send it back. The other thing is interesting point of view. I have this interesting point of view, or interesting point of view. They have this point of view, and just use that tool again for every thought, feeling, and emotion that other people project at you, and you project at others. If you go into judgment, don't judge yourself for that, because consciousness includes everything. And what if you just, okay, you judge somebody? And by the way, it might not be even a judgment, it might be awareness, because we are so entrained and ingrained that anything negative is a judgment. No, judgment can be positive or negative, and so is awareness, can be positive or negative. It's just a choice, it's just the energy, how it is. If it's solid and it feels heavy, which means it's a lie, it's a judgment. If it's light, it's true, it's an awareness. Everything is based on energy, and just choose based on that. And choose for you, not against you, especially during holidays. Choose what makes you lighter, what makes you have fun, what creates joy in your life. And stop trying to fit in. That usually means that you have to cut parts of you. Is it working for you? If it does, please, by all means. It did not work for me. So I stopped fitting in somebody else's mold and started being me. And as I said, it's going to be a free Zoom on December 28th. Who can we be? And it's not just during the holidays, it's all the time. And don't shut down intensity of your being. And we'll talk about it on January 23rd. And happy holiday, everybody. So happy that you're listening or watching this show. And my invitation to you, just be you with no judgment and just have fun. Enjoy your life, create your life, and just be. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.